The 81st UN General Assembly opens on September the 8th, while the general debate will hold from September the 22nd to 28th, 2026. The annual gathering will bring together world leaders to discuss key global issues, including climate change, sustainable development, international peace, and security. And now to some security matters, where troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest, Operation Fasanyama, have rescued 13 kidnapped victims in 4 separate terrorist attacks in Anka and Kaura na Moda local government areas of Zamfara State. In a statement, the Task Force Media Information Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Alihu Danja, said the operations were carried out on Wednesday following credible intelligence unplanned attacks. Lieutenant Colonel Danja said troops from Sector 2 in Begega intercepted heavily armed terrorists advancing towards Tunga Kadunduku in Anka local government area of the state. Acting on real-time intelligence, the troops engaged the terrorists in a gun battle, forcing them to flee into the surrounding bush. He said the 13 rescued victims have been handed over to the appropriate authorities for medical care, profiling, and reunification with their families. The media information officer added that troops have sustained offensive operations across the Northwest to deny terrorists freedom of movement and dismantle criminal networks. And in Benue State, the Senate Minority Leader, Senator Abba Moro, has blamed the persistent killings in Benue State on poor coordination among traditional institutions, security agencies, and government authorities. Speaking to the Senate Press Corps in Abuja after plenary, the Benue South lawmaker said authorities received intelligence days before the attack on Apache Village in Otukpo local government area, but failed to act. Our correspondent at the capital, Ferdinand Iba, has more in this report.
The Senate Minority Leader also criticized what he described the government's response to the killings, saying the crisis should not be reduced to the donation of relief funds. He alleged that Governor Hyacinth Alia did not visit the affected communities, but instead visited victims receiving treatment at hospital in Makurdi, where he announced a donation of 5 million naira to the families of those killed. Answering questions from journalists, Senator Moro called on security agencies and other relevant authorities to intensify efforts to end the recurring attacks on communities across Benue State. He also dismissed suggestions linking the latest killings to the earlier murder of Miyetti Allah leader in the state, insisting that investigations should be allowed to establish the facts.
You hear before that I'm not a good student of state police, but majority of senators have agreed to the creation of state police. So be it. As they say, the minority will always have their say, and the majority will have their way. So the state police has come to stay. I just pray that in the face of this menace, that all of us are alive, going forward, to see what the state police will do. Because in these states that have been clamoring for state police, they have informal security outfits. In my state, we have, those of you from Benue State, you know about the existence of Operation Zenda, which is a coming together of all the security forces to form one unit of operation. We also have in Benue State the volunteer guards. And from the part of the state that I come from, we have the Homeland Security. I stand to be corrected. But as the last time I checked, the 15,000 naira per personnel of the Operation Vanguard in Benue State have not been paid. And they lack the necessary logistics and equipment to confront the menace of armed attacks.
He, however, urged Nigerians to remain patient and closely observe how the proposed institution evolves if eventually established. The Senate Minority Leader maintained that improved collaboration among traditional rulers, security agencies, and government institutions remain critical to tackling insecurity and preventing further loss of lives in Benue State. Ferdinand Igba reporting for Voptv in Abuja.
Well, thank you so very much, Ferdinand, for that report. Still in the news, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, says the executive bill on state police before the National Assembly contains extensive constitutional safeguards. Speaking in Abuja at the National Security Roundtable during the 2026 National Assembly Open Week, Abbas said the provisions are designed to prevent governors and other political actors from abusing state-controlled security outfits. Our correspondent at the capital, Ferdinand Igba, has more in this report.
Leader Julius Ihaubore called for traditional rulers and community-based organizations to be integrated into Nigeria's security architecture, saying grassroots actors possesses vital local intelligence needed to tackle insecurity.
I'm talking about not just the traditional rulers, because whenever anything happens in any community, we say, who is the traditional ruler in that community? We're called the traditional ruler. Yet, there is no role for them in the constitution. But beyond that, which is already under discussion, we must work out a strategy to involve our traditional rulers, traditional leaders, and the issue of security. We must also begin to look at not just civil society, but also particularly community-based organizations, CBOs, because they know who enters and who leaves. They see them. They know where to find them, and they can provide information.
Former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, retired, called for a comprehensive overhaul of Nigeria's security architecture, urging greater investment in intelligence, stronger institution collaboration, and the responsible deployment of technology to address evolving security threats.
Constitutional reforms should strengthen both national unity and local effectiveness. Whatever model we propose must enhance accountability, professionalism, interoperability, and respect for the rule of law. We must evolve to make intelligence our first line of defense. The future belongs to those who can anticipate threats before they materialize. The challenge before us, therefore, is not just to merely create new institutions, but in addition, build stronger relationships between existing ones, talking about both federal and state alike, among security agencies, between technology and human intelligence, between security expenditure and measurable outcomes, and above all, between government and the citizens whose partnership remains Nigeria's greatest strategic advantage.
The Etu Nupe and chairman of the Niger State Council of Traditional Rulers, Brigadier General Yahaya Abubakar, retired, endorsed the proposed establishment of state police, describing it as a critical step towards strengthening community security and improving Nigeria's security architecture. Ferdinand Igba, reporting for Voptv in Abuja.
Well, thank you so very much, Ferdinand, for that report. And in the Red Chamber, the Senate has approved a 50 million naira donation to the families of 5 people who died during a rescue operation in Orire local government area of Oyo State. The victims lost their life while helping to rescue pupils and teachers abducted from schools in the area. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, announced the donation during plenary, saying each bereaved family will receive 10 million naira. He described the deaths as a painful sacrifice in the fight against insecurity and said the funds would support the children left behind. Akpabio also confirmed the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies rescuing the abducted pupils and teachers after 56 days in captivity.
We also noted the fact that 3 of the personnel who went for the rescue operations lost their lives in the course of trying to rescued those children. An army lieutenant from Adamawa was killed. A police sergeant was killed. Another private soldier was killed. And many were wounded. So on behalf of the Senate, we decided that also the teachers, 2 teachers that were in captivity with the children, were also murdered. So we've taken the motion, we've applauded government, we've applauded the security agencies, and we are pleading that the same be extended to any other part of the country where there may be any Nigerian in captivity. And so today we just felt, after discussion with the leadership, that we want to also support the victims' families. Like the young lieutenant was just 28 years old when he died in that operation. So we are sending a token of 50 million naira to them to be divided into the 5 deceased families. The family of the 2 teachers, the family of the 3 operatives who lost their lives, 10 million each, on behalf of the Senate.
The donation followed the Senate's adoption of a motion moved by Senate leader Senator Opeyemi Bambadele representing Ekiti Central. Well, away from that report, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde's call for a United Nations probe into school abduction in the state has drawn mixed reactions. While Makinde says the move will strengthen security, the Senate argues it undermines Nigeria's sovereignty. Our correspondent, Chisom Namchi, spoke with residents of Oka, Anambra State, and now reports.
Reacting to the development, a school administrator in Okpuno, Oka South local government area, Philip Eze, described Governor Makinde's call as a welcome development. He said the safety of students and teachers should be a collective responsibility, adding that international support would complement the government's efforts in ensuring such incidents do not reoccur.
It's a good call because the issue of school insecurity or security of lives and properties in school is a big concern, and there is need for concerted efforts both within Nigeria and her diaspora so that such incidents will not happen again. Even before now, we have seen cases of international intervention in insecurity matters. So what is so special about the governor calling for the United Nations input?
Charles Chisom also supported the governor's position. According to him, if there are concerns that local investigations may not be thorough enough, there is nothing wrong with inviting international bodies to assist. He maintained that seeking help does not in any way diminish Nigerian sovereignty or national pride.
My reaction based on the call is the governor is right, and since the Nigerian government can't do a thorough research, or will I say investigation towards the kidnap, the governor can do what he seems right. I think the United Nations should come and do what Governor Seyi Makinde is calling on them to come and do.
However, in expressing her mixed feelings, Blessing Chiamaka said it is unfortunate that Nigeria has reached a stage where the United Nations is being invited to investigate a domestic security incident. Nonetheless, she believes that if such intervention will help uncover the truth and improve security, then it is a step worth taking.
If actually it has gotten to the point where the United Nations are being invited to actually investigate a case in our nation, first of all, I would say that our nation is not doing what they should. I mean, the representatives who have our ambassadors, they're not actually doing what they are supposed to be doing, right? Because this is like, should I say, an extreme case where maybe we can't try to solve the problem, the already impending problem on our own, and then trying to initiate the help of externals. So for me, I would say that if it has gotten to that point, it's a very sad one for Nigeria.
On the other hand, Juliana Inyoluwa disagrees with the governor's call, arguing that Nigeria is a sovereign nation capable of handling its own affairs without external intervention. She urged the country to strengthen its institutions and adopt effective security measures used by more advanced nations rather than depending on international organizations.
I don't feel like that's the right call to make, because Nigeria is supposed to be a nation on its own that have working systems, and if the systems are working, we're not supposed to be requesting for external help.
As opinions remain divided, the debate raises broader questions about the balance between preserving national sovereignty and seeking international support in addressing complex security challenges. Chisom Nnamchi, reporting from Awka.
Thank you so very much, Chisom, for that report. Moving on, the National Pension Commission says the Nigerian police force is not exiting the contributory pension scheme. Director General Omolola Oloworaran said efforts are focused on improving retirement benefits for police personnel following concerns that their pensions are lower than those of the armed forces.
They want to exit, and the reason they want to exit is because their benefits are small. They are comparing their benefits to what their counterparts in the military are earning, and they are not happy with that. So they want to be at par with the military. So what we did was to engage them, and we explained to them that we share their frustration because we work for anything that puts more money in the pockets of ordinary Nigerians, no matter what. So we've explained to them that we are going to help them to actualize their goal. Let's forget exit. What do you want? Improved benefit. If we succeed in doing that, it doesn't matter whether you do it whilst in the scheme or outside the scheme. We're working on how their benefits can be reviewed, and all of them are aware of this. Now, I know there are camps amongst the police. Some of them not too much aligned with what we are doing. But some of them, all they just want is a better standard of living, which is what PENCOM is fighting for, right? And we are taking it up with the right authorities on how to improve their pensions.
And from there, I'll move straight talking business. Nigeria's headline inflation rate is slightly to 15.91% in June 2026 from 15.93% in May, according to the latest Consumer Price Index report by the National Bureau of Statistics. On a year-on-year basis, inflation was significantly lower than the 25.29% recorded in June 2025. Month-on-month inflation also slowed to 1.66%, down from 1.75% in May. However, food inflation remains elevated, rising to 17.52% year-on-year. On a month-on-month basis, it accelerated to 3.75%, up from 2.98% in May. Urban inflation stood at 16.08% year-on-year, while month-on-month urban inflation increased to 2.13%. And from business, we move straight to talking sports, where Argentina could face FIFA sanctions after some players celebrated their World Cup victory over England with a banner reading, "Falkland Islands are Argentine." Argentina came from behind to reach the 2026 World Cup final with late goals from Enzo Fernandez and Lautaro Martinez, securing victory after Anthony Gordon had given England the lead. However, the celebrations may attract disciplinary action after midfielder Giovanni Lo Celso displayed the politically sensitive banner on the pitch. FIFA prohibits political flags, slogans, and banners at its competitions, including the references to the disputed Falklands Islands. And to wrap up the media news, we go straight talking entertainment. The African Music Magazine Awards has announced its nominees for the 2026 edition, marking its return after a 2-year break. The awards, which celebrates excellence and the global impact of African music, were last held in 2023. Founder Anderson Obiagu said the hiatus was to improve the event. Nigerian superstar Davido leads the year's nomination with 5 nominees, including Best Male West Africa, Artist of the Year, Crossing Boundaries with Music Awards, and Afrima Album of the Year. His collaboration with Omalay, With You, also earned nominations for Best Collaboration and Song of the Year. Burna Boy, Diamond Platinum, and Black Sheriff received 4 nominations each, while South Africa's Tyler earned 3 and Thames picked up 2. The 2026 Afrima Awards and the Music Festival will be held on September the 12th at Anete Straat Square in Dallas, Texas. And with that particular entertainment story, we've come to the end of Midday News right here on Voice of the People Television. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we're at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at Voptv Live. Top of the hour at 1 p.m. would be Spotlight with Precious Agumanu. I am David Edwin. You have a good afternoon.
That 10 seconds you save by crossing the road could cost you your life. Pedestrian bridges are built for one reason: to keep you safe. They are free, they are strong, and they are there to protect you. Dashing across expressways leads to injuries, loss, and grief that last forever. Using the bridge takes less than 1 minute. Losing a loved one lasts a lifetime. Parents, teach your children. Drivers, slow down near bridges. Everyone, please use the pedestrian bridge every time. Your life is worth the climb. This message is from Voice of the People's Television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging 1-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on Voptv. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please the sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the
This is African News on Voice of the People television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People television. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Zoe Martinson, and you're watching Voptv.
What's up, people? It's your boy Dulo checking in. I'm here with the fisherman, Dulo, aka Kubi. I want to shout out the VOP, the Voice of the People. Make sure you guys tap in, tune into the Voice of the People today, tomorrow, and every day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Princess Fithian Nkrumah, and you keep watching Voice of the People TV.
Rukomi ni Akweja. Ricky Adeleda, the fisherman. Voice of the People. I'm part of the people. So go on and always watch Voice of the People.
Wagwami people, it's your girl Endurance Grand, and I'm giving a special shout out to VOP TV. Keep listening, keep watching.
My name is Akio Shota. This is VOP TV.
Hi, my name is William Lamte. I'm an actor, and keep watching Voice of the People TV. Keep it locked.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Spotlight Show. It's another beautiful day. And this is the place where stories come alive and voices matter. This is the show where we shine the light on creativity, culture, style, music, and purpose-driven people. And people we're talking about are people who are shaping the world around us. And yes, I'm your beautiful host, ever beautiful host, Precious Agumanu, a.k.a. Call Me Pressy. I see the waiting, I see the B and the E for the energy. This is the energy sport, and I'm sure you're sure about that. And yes, today is really beautiful, like I said before, and I'm not doing this alone today. I'm here with my darling and ever glowing angel, Oyedamola. Why you don't stand like say I won't talk one kind?
I don't understand. You they say ever beautiful, sure because of your
no, I mean a good.
You got the front there, I don't understand.
Please say that again. Say it again. You don't
May
stop.
I not say what's in my mind about this entire thing?
Okay.
It's fine. You look good, by the way. I thank goodness I didn't do this color today. Okay, I think like
you didn't do which only
say I almost did the same shade.
So of
if
color. You wear the same thing with me, what's it gonna happen?
No, I will not be tuning with you. As
even
though as once. You know you don't have respect before. I'm not.
Hey, blood of Jesus.
Respect to not be so much.
Me?
Yes.
Well, my people know that I'm a very
Which
respectful
people?
child.
Who? Where do you know her? Do you know her name?
Actually, they can testify. I'm a good child.
No,
I'm not.
Living voices testify you are good.
Oh, you see all those choir mistress now be only be this. You don't already give me one line.
Well, you know, music is life.
Actually,
but by the way, you look good.
And you too.
I'm liking your hair, but I can never be a golden hair person because I'm black. People no go be like, say I go put hair inside shrine.
Hey,
now, when I Miss Zazu,
from
someone who is fair skin is actually a very beautiful color on you.
Oh my God!
And it's a wet day. We never can tell what your plans are.
Please come back from that wet day.
Is
Please,
it not wet?
I take God. No.
Is it not raining?
Come back.
Is it not
come
raining?
back to where we were. Where we
please,
started
can
from.
we call Savior over?
Call who? I beg go. All right, everyone, get ready because we are about to ride true stories that inspire music that moves and people who make a difference. And yes, we're going to gist about a lot of things. And first on our list today, we're talking about Nollywood actress Rachel Okonkwo has actually added another, title to her name and title to her book, because she actually wrote a book. And yes, her list of accomplishments with the launch of her debut book, Ojogu Girl. The actress announced the release of the book, describing it as a deeply personal project inspired by resilience, purpose, and her life experience. And yes, the book officially unveiled on the July of 12th, 2026, marks a new chapter in Okonkwo's career beyond acting. So fans and well-wishers have actually congratulated the actress on the milestone, celebrating her transition from the movie screen to the literary world and wishing her success with the new publication. I mean, this is a new era. I think I saw one of the Ghanaian actress that actually has a school. I think that's Yvonne Nelson or something like that. That's her name, yeah. So she actually had a school, and I think they were doing something like a graduation.
Even Laura Keji that is there. So, okay, Laura is not an actress, but Laura now has plenty caps. She's an author,
yeah.
She's a beauty, this thing, quite a lot.
See, it's how most of these are, celebrities, don't they leave their, being on the screen to doing something.
Well, in all fairness, I think it's just the Yoruba adage that say, "Oh no, come watch one way no enter market."
Nah.
Every way now waiting now.
Away.
If somehow, every individual somehow we have a lot of things coupled up inside of us, and if there is any greatest gift God has given to our gender, is the ability to multitask, where we can do diverse things at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that they are putting it to use, but the title Ojogu Girl.
Is the name for me. We always know Nkoli. People that know her movie that call her Nkoli. So I think she has always been this real, she's always in the screens of being this real person that always, portrays this. Sometimes she portrays the real person, village girl, stuff like that. But she does well,
Yeah, really not bad.
Her movies really do well.
I would read the book to see, but I'm
why you they laugh?
No,
this your laugh, no.
Do you know why I had that laughter on my face is because
yes.
Okay, so I think as far back as 25 years.
Okay.
I've been someone over 25 years now. I read a lot. I've mentioned the authors. Maybe except one author that maybe I never jam in book. I even go as far as reading. The other day I was making comparison with someone.
They confess. This one where you say.
No, I read a lot. Actually,
okay.
I read a lot. So for someone like me, I will give critique to your book because my standard, I realized, because while I was discussing with a friend of mine who also reads very well, and when we were analyzing books we've read, and when I was analyzing, I was like, your analyses are so broad, and I'm like, okay, I think that's it comes with a year of experience of me reading. I've read so local, foreign, general. I even have children that in my church will say, "Oh, Anthony, I write books," and they will write. They didn't publish it. They will write like an higher education kind of, and they will give to me. Then I'll proofread for them and all. So for someone like me, my standard for books is actually very high. So I don't know, but I might consider it probably reviewing this book. For the title is really putting me off kind of, because even though it's Nigerian, yes. I love when Nigeria tries to be original and all.
Yeah.
But I feel like Ojogu Girl sounds like a slang, and it sounds like something that has been used in so many wrong contexts.
Yes.
So that's alone. But it could be controversy that she wants for the book, because that could trigger some people to want to be like, okay, what's the Ojogu Girl saying? We've had movies that is Ojogu Girl. We've had skits. We've had a lot of things. It's like an hashtag that has reigned and is still reigning. So being the title, everybody now they are author and the finisher of their own fate.
It's their own fate, not mine, actually.
what was that?
But come to think of this, the fact that I want to basically move into the movie scene, because a lot of our actors and actresses have, gone into doing something different apart from being on the screen. So we have the likes of Emekike, we have the likes of I have a lot of them that even the one where they run for when they come out for governorship and being a president, that one self she they give herself hope.
There is hope for the hopeless.
So I mean, it's a lot, but I like the fact that
did Banky W go from music to becoming a politician?
Actually,
and ended up now he's stabilizing as a pastor.
Actually,
so sometimes I think the adage that says jack of all trade, master of none.
Yeah.
I agree with it to a certain extent. It doesn't mean that you can't have diverse things to do. But what makes you a master of anything is if you have done that particular thing and you succeeded and there is a legacy on that path. If someone like Jay-Z wakes up today and said, okay, I'm not okay, let me use Don Jazzy as an example.
Yeah.
Don Jazzy started out as a producer for the band and, you know, mixes beats and all, and he just features in the song and say, Don Jazzy again, So people come, they say, can Don Jazzy even sing? What can he bring to the table? When he and the band splitted for a few years, you know, there was a lot of talks. Then it was shocking that when there was another, when he started another record label, apart from the one he had with the band, I think the greater of the success of the latter was greater than that of the before. That shows that he's doing something right. That the band cannot say, oh, if not for me. And the Jazzy can say that I'm a master when it comes to this. And did you know that to show how good he is, I don't think there has not been any in history where a foreign company comes to buy a Nigerian music label, then he's doing something right. And so if someone like the band, Don Jazzy now stands and say, okay, I want to do something else. For someone like him, he's a master in that production line already. So whatever he's doing again and he succeeds in it, they will not say, oh, he's jack of all trades, master of all. At that point, they are different. It's just like Dangote. Yes, he started off with, you know, with some things, sugar, salt, and the likes, and he branched into cement. Now he's into petroleum. They're seeing a vision of electric and all, and we can see him bringing these things to perfections.
Yeah.
That's so it's not just from upping like that's the animal that hops again. I think it's frog. You know, just jumping from one thing to the other.
Yes.
So you need to find out what you do and what you do best. You know, some people, I would use Adesola Itomi as an example.
Okay.
Started off as a very beautiful actress.
Yes.
Yes, we all notice in the movies that she has a very good voice. That doesn't make her a musician. She tried her hand on music.
Yeah.
Not that bad. But the face behind the music is what is the clash.
Okay.
So now it will take you to the era when actors and actresses started. You know, there are things, values you should have.
Yes.
Like singing, dancing, writing. Now, it now depends on how intense you want to go. If you're going for action movies, being able to, you know, master kung fu, use sword, train on guns. These are elements that compounds together to bring out the best as an actor. So now say because you can shoot gun, where you do for a movie, now say now I'm a bouncer.
But I want to say something. You know, the country that we are in right now. And we already know how the
everything now comes back to our coronation.
Let's tell ourselves.
Is it because of our coronation?
Let's tell ourselves the truth.
Let's sell akara then.
Not be only akara, quickly go sell. See, let's tell ourselves.
You bring Gary and I bring the kuli kuli. Then somebody else sells the sugar.
Oh my God!
It's a fool.
The truth is, the economy is smiling on everybody, even you and me too. So it won't
why
be
do you
a
have to
bad
start
idea.
with even you? Why not say even me? Why are you pointing to me first? I don't understand that. Why the worst case scenario?
So instead of us to be people, to be a scapegoat into doing something wrong, so it's good to do things legally. Like your skills would actually pay for you.
Yeah.
So if you're able to write,
let me not forget that it's ChatGPT that writes that book for you. Now that ChatGPT is out.
God,
okay, so I think another new thing that is trending.
Yes,
you can't be able to write a book with ChatGPT and all, but for people who are readers, we actually dictate from the very first paragraph.
But you know, ChatGPT has done a lot of. I don't know. I don't want to say a lot of good.
Yes,
and
damn
done
bad. Yes,
but people would say it has done a lot of bad.
No, it hasn't done anything bad actually.
People feel that
it has done
taking
a lot
away
of
their
good.
jobs.
It's not taking away anybody's job. Now let me tell you something. My station cannot wake up tomorrow and say, oh, we no longer want you on air. ChatGPT will speak for you. Is that possible? Even when there are robots that can speak, that they can do garbage in, garbage out, they are robotic. There will be no human feelings. There will be quite a lot of deficiencies. And now that's where it comes in for you as a person to, you know, hone up. Let your onion be annoying. I don't know the kind of onion where they do. So when they slice, I know they pepper.
You know the pepper. Yes.
You know when you are slicing onion in the kitchen, people when they parlor, they feel them. That's onion. Not be say they do onion, they even lick them, and they are not feeling any pain. Their eye must know say something happened to me. So I think that people just need to own up their game.
Of course.
Step up. A lot of actors at the moment, not to shade anybody, I wouldn't mention anybody's name, but if I have the capacity to, you know, vote some people out of acting, they plenty.
Yay.
And
Wow.
because when you see them, you're like, what's this? Like, you know, it's bad enough if you've done something wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Then you keep doing it like that.
Yes.
And make it a norm. So are you saying that as a person, you don't even watch yourself? Like you're not even trying to improve. You're not trying to be a better version of yourself. So people don't even get talent. And I remember the last time we went for an entertainment gathering, they talked about that okay, so it was a beautiful thing that we have a lot of producers, actors, directors, and investors seated. And you know, then it was them that raised the question, not us, the journalists. Because if we were to be heard, they would have shut us up.
Yes.
And I could remember very well that Blessing mentioned something about some people, okay, I think it was Sean George who said it first and said, oh, remember the fact that a lot of people started casting ladies with curves, with big hips, and you know, a lot of people are now working on their body, even when they have nothing to deliver.
Now pressure they make people they do those things.
I said within themselves, then anyone beat us. Because then the man say, no, you can't say that. You can't say that it's because of their buttocks alone. Because kinikon. Then another person, no, say, don't tell me that. I remember I casted for kinikon row. And
they are feeling guilty.
Did you
guilty
get?
conscience won't kill them. Because tell me, I always ask this question. I say, what do you do your body when you could make it one game? They put this one, they put that one, they put.
You see, everybody has their own vein. And they have the things they vein after.
Vein,
if you wait now, if you ask me my own vein, maybe my tummy. Do you understand? Wow. So now I'm trying to be realistic. Maybe my tummy, but will I work on it now? No. Can I work on it in the future? Probably.
Okay.
Maybe after my entire childbirth. Okay. And I'm not doing it for compliments. I'm not doing it for anyone to see me. I'm doing it for myself.
Okay.
So at that point, my friend, I still discouraged a very good, close friend of mine who already booked sculpturing, and she was just telling me that, oh, I'm going for it. I'm like, don't yet. I said, babe, wait, more born finish. If you don't born our last baby, we don't need to tell our husband, say, baby, I know they born again. Now me know where I want to stop.
So you're saying you would comfortably go for a surgery?
Not a surgery now, there's sculpturing. Where they massage, you know, to try to express any fat or probably air bloating. There's tapache. There's so many things you could do. That doesn't. I cannot go on that knife. God, may I not see a reason to go on that knife?
Because I mean,
I dread pain. Ordinarily say person hold me too much. I dey strong eye. Talk let's say you won't come they tear me. No nah. I think the only reason that can ever make somebody like me to say, okay, maybe I experience knife, and I always pray about it. I don't have to do CS for delivery. If that one come out, my dear sister, knife no go cross my body till Jesus come.
Man, you know, what if? Anyway, let me not.
No, that's why I say I'm praying towards it. Now, it's not like it's a disease or a sin, but you know there are things you can pray towards. Oh God, by the time I want to give way, may I deliver like the Hebrew woman? It doesn't mean that those that didn't deliver like a Hebrew woman, they are less of a woman. They have situations, they have reasons, they have complications. Some of them say, even with the surgery, the child still didn't survive. Some, the mother even passed with the surgery and all. So all these things, I know these are elements these are components that makes a woman. These are dangers that you face as a woman. Now, man, if you say, okay, I have no reason to ever go through surgery. Because nothing makes the components of a man to make you go through surgery except sickness.
Yeah.
And there are viable things that you could avoid. But not all the time. I know a child who is just a child that had sacrum issue and they had to go through surgery. So all these things are that. But then people need to understand that if you want to do anything and you're standing by anything, let it be what you can defend.
I just...
Because if not, me and you, we can write book. We start precious E for
like
energy.
I said before, this economy is not smiling on anyone.
And
everybody wants to make money. I mean, if you just give me like 100 billion now, I'm just begging God. This 100 billion, I'm begging God. Lord Jesus, just 100 billion.
Jesus, hello? Precious say she wants 100 billion, but I never know what she wants use and do. So never give her.
Well, you cannot see that 100 billion will be falling down from heaven.
Exactly.
So you have to work for it. So like what Rachel has done is,
Stepping up her game.
Yes, she's actually stepping up her game. And to other actors and actresses that have, followed such steps too. I'm
More than write
impressed.
better book. Let it not be like one book, one time that I waste money. Let me not call out the actor.
But it's a good
that
start
one, she is a she. That wrote one book that time. When I read that book, I'm like, Kilele. Like, Kilele, what did you write?
See, we even have a lot of people that have done
I hungry deleted that book. Even after paying for it. I know how many dollars
What
I
are
paid
the
for
ones that
that
have done music? That have gone into,
No, I closed my hair.
You can. God.
I closed my hair, even to the top ones,
Yes.
the likes of Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy. It's not all their songs that I like.
Okay.
Even Ashake.
Wow.
Even Simi, there was one song that Simi sang one time. I had to listen to that song a couple of times before I can even be like, okay, it's not that bad, but it's not my. So out of all the album, I mute that one. I know verse too.
Yes.
But I didn't like that one. And I think one out of over 50 songs of hers, she deserves her flowers. But some, they don't do like 10. 10. Even though I'm a fan, doesn't mean that I know they love blindly. I'm not a blind lover. I they see.
But you don't love me blindly. All right, let's go over to the comment section. We have a lot of people that have said things concerning Rachel Okonkwo. So let's take some comments and see what they have for us. And yeah, somebody said phones go disappear. See, another thing is,
I think it's a new
thing
for events now. They start stealing celebrities' phones.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Well, I think in my dialect they'll say paramo, like keep your things close to you.
To yourself. Okay, we have more comments. Let's take more. Yes, Promise said acid hot. Acid hot, they drop them small. And Taj Abimbola said this is beautiful. And we have more comments. Let's take one more before we go over to our next story. Yes, see, the truth is I actually love, actors and actresses that are doing amazingly well. Yes, amazingly well. So it's beautiful to see this one. And Nidera said nice one. Then Sharok Kedika said this spelling of her name distressed me.
Odogu
is well with you. And Julian Violet said, why didn't her colleague in Nollywood come to the event? Even the Asaba Woods didn't show up.
Did you know if she invited them?
You see, it's how people stay in their
People
houses.
have their target audience.
I mean,
when it comes to book, I was surprised to see Laura Ikeji.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of like mind for her.
Yeah.
People who sees her vision. So now it's not a movie set, and that's the truth. It's not a movie set. So the kind of people you find there will be her friends, the people she envisions to be part of that vision.
Yeah.
She won't just give. Do you think it's cheap to host people? Not being we go one event one time, let me not mention their name. They say they should not give journalists water.
God,
and when I walked up to the person,
really?
Yes, and I'm like, hello, sir. They were bringing drink, and once they see the tag on your wrist that you are a journalist, they say no. They say people should not take. And I say, is there anything for us after this? And they say, they said it's for the guests. I said, are you people for?
So we are not human. We are not human actually.
Do you get?
Wow.
And that's happening in a movie premiere. So now I give people my standard for movie premiere because I don't want to do stuff like that anymore because I feel like it's high time everybody knows their value. If you're bringing me to cover your movie premiere, you're treating me that way. The person movie no later says, so I was not surprised.
All right. Before we go back to the next story, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we still have more stories to talk about. So please stay with us.
The rains are here. They bring relief, green fields, and fresh water. But they can also bring danger if we are not careful. Rule 1. Avoid flood waters. Never walk, wade, or drive through moving flood water. Fast-moving water can sweep you off your feet, and that water may hide open drains, sharp objects, or live electric cables. Rule 2. Stay away from weak structures and slopes. Heavy rain can weaken buildings, walls, and hillsides. Avoid sitting on the old buildings, billboards, or trees. If your area is prone to landslides, report cracks or soil movement to emergency agencies immediately. Rule 3. Protect yourself from lightning and accidents. Stay indoors during thunderstorms. Avoid open fields, tall trees, and metal objects. If you must travel, drive slowly. Use your headlights and never use an umbrella near power lines or while riding. And rule 4. Stay healthy. Clear your gutters to stop mosquitoes that causes malaria. Boil or filter your drinking water. Keep food covered to avoid cholera and typhoid. And wash your hands often. This rainy season, stay alert, stay prepared, stay alive. This message is brought to you by Voice of the People Television.
And yes, welcome back to the Spotlight Show. It's still happening here on Voptv, your favorite hub. And yes, I'm still your host, Precious Agumanu, aka Call Me Prezi. And yes, I'm still here with my darling and ever-glowing baby girl, Onitamola. The way you're smiling these days, I don't understand.
You know, I won't go to the party now. I'm going to say,
I beg you. All right, next on our list, we're talking about Nigerians' film industry. And guess what? They are about to set and to make history with the Guinness World Record attempt. And this time around, they are gearing up for a historic moment as the producers of the upcoming movie, Black Market, prepare to attempt a Guinness World Record for the largest film screening ever held in a single location. So the event is set to hold soon. And yes, the movie is set to surpass the current world record. And the Ambitions initiative is a lot. See, this is actually going to hold, and a lot of people are, excited about this already. So, but before we go and talk about this, basically, let's see this video, because this one is a big one for the Nollywood. Where
I'm coming from my baby girl.
Oh me dada. They want to bust our head.
That girl they chose. When I saw the ad and we were talking about the fact that the Guinness World Record before was 48,000 something, and they are planning to break it. So they'll be doing 50,000 people on cinema. Like, okay, that's a very good one. And it's like the first in Nigeria happening. So me, do you know where I first watched Omaomi? Sorry, not Omaomi. Omaomi Dada was on what's that name now? There in that movie, she was bearing Osenami Minasu. One movie like that. Yes, I think used to co-air with Battleground, and that one, the second one at the same time. So when I seeing our growth and this,
I know they talk me saying that only women they break this record. When we tell ourselves,
Precious Agumanu, call me Preci, don't go that route.
Wait now.
Don't you dare.
You said I should not go there. I'm going there.
My dear, come back.
Let's
pulling you
from
back.
Last year to this year. How many of the Guinness World they don't break? Where they name them for you?
I cannot even remember. Moving on to the next.
Because it's the truth.
And when you're talking about Guinness World Record, it's only in Nigeria.
It's not woman supporting woman here. Seeing what I'm telling you now. I'm so excited about this one. Me, I even love to hear things like this. When I see women doing a lot of good jobs, I'm so excited.
And it's the fact that this our Tochi boyfriend said they did. That guy in Color My Life. And I'm like, Is it a love film?
One night.
The cast
just one night.
I know. The cast is huge. For me,
seriously.
The cast and that location, Tafa Balewa, it's going to be massive babies.
I'm imagining how it will look like.
Maybe
where there is a suspense, where The imagination.
You know, when you're in a cinema already, we know how I just pray may no for that day.
Hey, blood of Jesus, not true. Don't be lie. No be.
May we not see evil.
Amen.
May evil not see us.
But seriously, I've been thinking about this whole thing, like how it's going to be like, you know, where there's the love scene and people want to shout.
You know how cinema used to be.
Yeah.
So I think one of the euphoria cinema gives you is that excitement that it's not only you. You know, there's sometimes we say, like, and like most people are saying that they now is 50,000 people.
Man,
that's
this
all
is really
massive.
Good. Massive.
Honestly, this is a good
really,
one.
really
I can't
massive.
wait for this to come to pass. And they're
course.
winning that world record. And you know, and they're standing tall with the record, breaking the record themselves.
See, I don't raise hands for more with me. That
Oh,
woman is a strong
me.
woman. Like, I'm gonna give you your flowers.
And you know, it's almost all the MVC awardees that are also in that movie. It's giving breaking record already. Yes, now that's Linda. Now that's I can't the number of them. Linda wasn't just one; it was two.
It's really amazing
now.
to
So
see this.
you know, the euphoria this ad gave me was the fact that something this exclusive is happening in my country.
See, I don't talk this thing. I said, be like people want to give us shocker.
We need it. You know, the governments cannot be dragging us
now
into
even
Akara
should be giving us.
And Nollywood is not doing their job.
Small. Well,
and if there's
seriously.
anything, in all fairness, I think one of the things that is making this achievable is the fact that all the movies that I've ever seen on Mommy featured in, and a couple of other actors on that set, has been top notch. And you know, coming from someone who has never allowed the image she's building for her brand to be tarnished at any point. Even when she's just featuring or partnering or co-producing or anything, she has held on to that with a very high esteem. So we know that the movie cannot be anything short. And then the euphoria that will come with gathering of 50,000 people.
50,000. That's a lot.
Now, it's 50,000 seating. What about those working on that field that day? They are hard up. Those that will be doing the ushering, the food, the vendors. They are hard up. Did you? So it's more than 50. That's where my mind went to.
Yes.
So now it's 50,000 seats for those that are coming in as guests. Now there are other entities attached to it.
I'm giving this. I'm saying this for all the women that are so hardworking.
For everybody, you should blame all the
women.
For everybody.
I want to.
I know they trust this precious again. For everybody.
See,
now woman you go later marry.
Even though you say it's women supporting women, even though.
Don't allow your vein to pop, my love.
Leave my vein for me. It's my vein. It's not your own. Please let's tell ourselves the truth. Please, to all the women that are doing amazing work, see, the flowers don't finish, but I go buy new flower.
It's not just her alone.
I know it's not just her, but the idea.
She's partnering with
like you said.
And
I like the sound of that.
And the people she's partnering with are not female only. So is Nollywood winning? Because I think,
but you said she.
You were those that they use as example. In that meeting I went to with John Pedro.
On
John
to
Pedro
the
said
next
something
one.
that
So
people are
what I
always
was
trying
trying
to
to
do
say-
female against male.
Calm down.
Nollywood.
Calm
Nollywood
down.
is winning.
Calm down.
And we are
Even
winning.
when Hilda Bassi was, doing all the lot of I'm
now,
just telling
wait,
you.
now Gino, now woman get Gino, no be
Not
man.
be woman, a man, but whom got the idea?
Nigeria is winning, my love. The person who build that port, no be man. Our project manager, no be man.
Who is taking the credit?
The person where abuse, they say they no wash rice, no be women.
You've not answered the question.
No, people where abuse, they say they no wash rice, no be women. So where's the women supporting women?
See how they go, they copy
Please,
where
we
they
are
wash rice.
Nigerians. And we are winning. It's our time to shine as a country.
What of the person that actually stood up to do makeup for how many hours again? Sorry. Sorry.
Wait. Now, I think you're making
Auntie,
it
just
up.
agree.
I don't agree for anything.
You go agree.
No, I don't go agree. We say Guinness World Record is not just Nigeria alone. It's world, and there are countless people breaking one record or the other every day and every time.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. No, now let's sentiments aside.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to see that the women are standing tall, and they are standing right, because the narrative is different. The narrative has changed. Unlike before, when the woman is like this, like a secondary, and is the crumbs that is being passed from the table of the men that they feast on.
Actually.
It's no longer business as usual. So it's now the era where the men are stepping up, because if not, we'll leave them behind. Like you can see,
Please,
it's
our
Precious
men.
and I. Sometimes we bring Savior, but it's Precious and I. So it's women things.
Please, to our men.
Savior, I didn't say that out.
From you, but it's the truth. What I know best for me is just that when you see good things,
No, they won't verse. They've been praising women for decades.
You have to express Like
it's
you
not
want
easy.
It's just
see now. Even I this guy now. Pella can say I'm a husband because Javi married him.
Like, do you get what I'm trying? Omo, like this
woman married that guy not for Javi.
Hey,
it's all in bad character where they scratch this thing for public place.
You see the way I'm women. Oh yeah.
I don't understand.
Now the are they all right. So we have a lot of comments. Our comment section is already bustling hot. So let's go back to the comment section and see what people have for us. A lot of people are excited about this one, the Dolly word. I really
I don't understand. This one don't fix yourself. It's happening on my birthday.
What's it gonna happen? It's my birthday. What's it gonna happen?
Don't worry, we can do a surprise cake for you that day. Just come to the stand.
And hi, Janelle said, I am Sati. Okay. And Jimio for
so you ain't not there Lagos sef won't come. Don't go talking that we say make don't go they give us expectations, sir. But yeah, Lagos is happening in Lagos.
See, everything they happen for Lagos. Now I not great.
Well, the best thing happens in Lagos. Trust me, it's a mega city.
Don't make anybody whine you say you won't come to Lagos. Person gonna tell you say, oh, Lagos is the Lagos is the busy.
No, somebody told me that Lagos is stressful. I said the stress makes you Lagosian.
That's the word.
Do you get? That's why you can stand tall and say I'm a Lagosian, because the stress encompassing of the opportunities, the adventures, the lifestyle.
Oh yeah, I want to say something. You see the fact that, you know, when coming from where I'm coming from, we don't need to jump bus. We actually come down from the bus.
They go drag it for this or make bus zoom you as your leg won't come down.
I'm proud to say that I can jump. I'm proud to say that I can jump. To be sincere, if everybody when don't come Lagos newly go no say if you not sabi jump bus, wahala be that.
You know, ironically, when I went to Abuja and you know we're standing by the roadside and a car was coming, the Lagos in me was rushing to the car. I saw people just calm down.
You go there like this bus gonna move.
And the car just stopped, and people were, you know, they just looked like the first. Yeah, I don't run, say I won't enter. I said everybody was not rushing. I'm like, what's going on? For like 6 months into my stay in Abuja, it was not Komomilara. It did not reach my body because I was used to, you know, when you have to rush the
baby
bus,
girl life,
when you have to drag people's. They've dragged my wig before. They come on my wig. I see enter the bus.
Even the
baby girl, give me my wig.
Even in the baby girl life, there is a part of you that will still show, you know, signs of Lagosian character.
No, you know, the irony was that I went to the market when I was serving in the north, and I wanted to buy something, and I said, they told me a price, and I said, it's not Kiniko. And it looked like pin dropped in the market. Because everybody just looked up and stared at me. And one of them say, you are from Lagos, ba? I said, yes, I'm from Lagos. He said, only Lagos people they price. I said, why wouldn't I price?
Tell me how you want to cross the road and you see a car coming in. And you not say motor they come.
You go run now.
No, they not they run. No, now peaceful walking.
Right there, there's nothing peaceful about the work here.
But I mean,
we run. Even if you want to cross your compound to the next place to buy something, you hasten your step. Say no matter.
Oh my God, it's good to be, you know, in Lagos.
Well, I'm a proud Lagosian, and I'm very happy that I wasn't born in any parts of Nigeria except Lagos. Because Lagos,
now busybody.
No, my love, Lagos made me encompassing of all I am in terms of intellect, in terms of knowledge, in terms of my curiosity, in terms of my drive, in terms of my passion. Lagos did all this to me. So what else? What would I not be grateful for?
If you don't learn the good way, you're going to learn.
Because, you know, somebody wanted, one guy, immediately the guy was standing at that road and his phone was at his back pocket. He said, hello, he doesn't come from the east. The guy thought, because he said, your phone no go follow you cross if you no come out time. And all about as you cross finish, another person shouted that, hey, we're like, they just showed you Lagos, baby. You put phone for back pockets for Lagos. I mean, if your hand in your back and if you come out and you're not going to come out your hand.
Oh my God, please let's take more comments. We have a lot of people, you know, excited about Nollywood.
Yeah, it's about to
getting
go
set
down.
to make history with the Guinness World Records attempt, you know, of screening a particular movie for 50,000 people. And that's a huge one. At once. Let's take more comments, and we have a lot of people still talking about this. Trust me, for that person where they come Lagos, it's a good thing. I'm sure you would
don't worry,
enjoy.
we would welcome you. And for the birthday girl, we got you too.
Let's take more comments. We have a lot of people still talking about this, and let's take more. See, the truth, I might tell you the truth. I say I like the fact that people, you know, really go the extra mile to do things. I mean, who could have imagined 50,000 people? 50,000 people.
It
That's
is what it is.
that's a lot.
You know, they can already decide to extend it and do 2 locations in the coming years.
I'm already getting to imagine the atmosphere.
And, you know, because it's not coming from the regulars.
The excitement on people's faces.
Yes.
You know, how people will go, they drag front self to they for front. Like, all those kind of things. Like, it's
like,
really,
it's going to be very interesting.
Okay, on to the next one. I will still say, you know, it's a good one, and we can't wait to see that.
Congratulations.
And congratulations to them.
No, it's precious to be there live.
Hey, blood of Jesus. Okay, on to the next one. Yes, Yvonne Jagede says the citizens of her country are not worth fighting for. And this actual one is shocking. So yes, Nollywood actress Yvonne Jagede has actually sparked widespread reactions after stating that the citizens of her country are not what are fighting for. The actress made the remark while reacting to conversations surrounding national issues, expressing disappointment over what she described as the attitudes and response of many Nigerians whenever important matters affecting the country are being discussed. So actually, I think this particular statement was made, maybe she has seen the video of the children that were abducted and they actually came back and they've been released. And the excitement on their faces, it's like, maybe a lot of people are expecting, you know, they should look famished, they should look, you know, but they felt so happy, you know, coming back, and people are saying, are they supposed to be happy?
Okay. You know, I remember having this conversation with someone, and we were talking about the online shows about the release of the Oyo State children.
Yeah.
And then some people started making comparison with the ones of Ekiti that was released, I think a day or 2 before that of Oyo State.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things I think I said, some say, it seems it's fake, it seems it's this, it seems it's that. I say, wait, if it's fake, please, let's take your brothers and sisters there. Some people lost their life. It's no joke. I don't like when people try to downside people's pain. Because it's not suiting to what they want to see or what they want to hear. Those children were not complete.
What of the man that actually
was beheaded? Yeah. The child that passed. There's a child that passed. There are children that were born with cakes and all. So now, you don't know where their gratitude and their smile is coming from.
Yeah.
It might be from the fact that, well, finally we're out.
And what will happen to the family?
And the fact that might not be them. It might not be immediately they were coming from the forest when that video was captured. True or false? We don't know. Do you understand? They didn't tell us they are coming directly from the forest when that video was captured. So we don't know what has happened or what has transpired before that televising it to the entire world for people to know that, oh, they are back safe and sound. Even if it's not all of them, but at least the government has done their due diligence. You know, it was one thing that Nigerians were clamoring for the government to step in, let that release be made and all. And now finally when we all know the demands they made. And we should know that in one way or the other, there is compromise from the government to have allowed the terrorists to allow those people go. And then you're standing at the hem of your keyboards and you're trying to downside people's pain. We saw them being tortured. We saw them. It's not like they told us. We saw them. That was pure torture, using cake to burn into their skin. Those people that you are smiling, you know, that's just a smile that, you know, when you're trying to mask your pain. They've gone through a lot. And I don't know if you're wishing that what happened to those of Ekiti victims that were record of being severely raped, if that's what exactly wants to happen to those other children. Because I don't know where the comparison is coming from. For me, it was a pain in my heart when people just talk out of context. It looked as if they fail to think before they start making comments on people's pain. Some people lost their family, some lost their father, some lost someone that didn't have to pass because was sick or the circumstances made them pass, and some were saved. Those people will still go to church and give thanksgiving. We don't know how many years it's going to take some of them to outgrow that trauma. There are some of them that will never outgrow the trauma. And the best Nigerian thing they can offer them is to drag the fact that it's looking like comedy. It's looking like Nollywood. They deserve an award. They deserve this. They acted it. They acted the keg bone, or they acted the man beheaded.
The truth is that a lot of people, I mean,
I was trying to. Now, do you know that we don't know the exact number when they were abducted?
Abducted, yes.
But I could feel that quite a number of them were missing from that video of their release. Because I was trying to place faces to those boys who were burnt to keg, to the ones standing in that video.
Yeah.
And not all their faces are there. We don't know now. Do you get, even though the video was not so clear, but it's still clear enough to let us know that minors went through torture. Because they are born in a country where security has become a thing of question. And the best that people could offer their pain is to stand and make. Well, there was even one man that I saw. I didn't just block him. I reported that anything that man has to do in his life on internet should never pop up on my timeline. Because he was doing comparison. Like, are you for real?
You see,
how human can we be?
I feel now people they do people sometimes. Now human being, wait till they talk, right? Human being, they do human.
This terrorism thing, we see people lose their life.
Exactly. A lot of people don't have that conscience. They don't have that idea. They don't
conscience,
have that.
They gave their conscience to.
They don't have that heart. I always say, I said, please, no matter how you want to be, like, sometimes you need to be kind to people. A lot of people are going through a lot of
I remember that something like our first episode for the year when we talked about it's a new year, people should learn to be kind with their choice of words and all.
It be like say they add that one.
It be like say wickedness added to their heart rate. Because
seriously. Because I don't know where people want to carry this, to they show person wickedness, where did they carry and they go. But the truth is that, no, where did they carry and they go? Because it be like say the way that they drag for to be wicked. Now sometimes I ask myself a question, do they go even with this wickedness? Sometimes you just need to, I don't know, but you need to get that, be kind. Kindness does a lot of it. In fact, if you don't even do anything for this in your life, just show one person one kindness. Just show one person that
it's terrible.
You're kind, you're loving. Terrible. Not be every small thing.
Because people are going through a lot, and you never can tell when that your word without empathy comes to play in that front. To some of those children, they will watch those videos of your criticism and using some of you even turn their pictures to memes.
It's well.
Like,
okay, this is where
it's quite disheartening, but
actually
it is what it is.
Thank you so much for staying with us on the Spotlight Show. This is where we draw the curtain for today's episode. Thank you so much for staying with us. And remember, if you're going viral or going global, please tell your story with heart. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media handle at Voptv Live and subscribe to our channels for more exciting episodes and updates. And until next time, I am Precious Agumanu, aka Call Me Prezi. And I didn't do this alone here. I was here with my darling.
Baby girl. It was nice being on here with you guys today.
All right. See you next time. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
That 10 seconds you save by crossing the road could cost you your life. Pedestrian bridges are built for one reason: to keep you safe. They are free, they are strong, and they are there to protect you. Dashing across expressways leads to injuries, loss, and grief that last forever. Using the bridge takes less than 1 minute. Losing a loved one lasts a lifetime. Parents, teach your children. Drivers, slow down near bridges. Everyone, please use the pedestrian bridge every time. Your life is worth the climb. This message is from Voice of the People's Television.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voter's card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, Check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on Voptv as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Voptv. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging 1-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The issues. Don't just react. Understand.
The rains are here. They bring relief, green fields, and fresh water. But they can also bring danger if we are not careful. Rule 1. Avoid flood waters. Never walk, wade, or drive through moving flood water. Fast-moving water can sweep you off your feet, and that water may hide open drains, sharp objects, or live electric cables. Rule 2. Stay away from weak structures and slopes. Heavy rain can weaken buildings, walls, and hillsides. Avoid sitting on the old buildings, billboards, or trees. If your area is prone to landslides, report cracks or soil movement to emergency agencies immediately. Rule 3. Protect yourself from lightning and accidents. Stay indoors during thunderstorms. Avoid open fields, tall trees, and metal objects. If you must travel, drive slowly. Use your headlights and never use an umbrella near power lines or while riding. And rule 4. Stay healthy. Clear your gutters to stop mosquitoes that causes malaria. Boil or filter your drinking water. Keep food covered to avoid cholera and typhoid. And wash your hands often. This rainy season, stay alert, stay prepared, stay alive. This message is brought to you by Voice of the People Television. Nutrition experts are emphasizing the importance of healthy eating in preventing disease and improving overall well-being. At an event marking World Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day in Lagos, stakeholders highlighted the role of balanced diets, proper portion control, and reduced consumption of processed foods in tackling rising cases of lifestyle-related illnesses. They say nutrition also plays a key role in energy levels, cognitive development, and productivity.
Is when you get your diet right, you are physically and mentally alert, which you know that eating healthy is one of the master key of good health. Down to the hospital setting, they come in as clients. We have those on admission across board, from cradle to geriatric, which is the elderly people. So from the pregnant woman, for your child, for you to be healthy and the child to be healthy, and you come out having a bouncing and beautiful or handsome baby, you need the touch of a dietitian. That is in terms of a promotion of good health.
Experts also stress the need for greater awareness and the integration of dietitians in healthcare institutions across the country.
We need to improve on our policy. We need to improve on our policy. We need to make sure that food is one of the highest allocation is given to food in the policy. 1, 2, during the policy for nutrition.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Hi, my name is Zoe Martinson, and you're watching Voptv.
What's up, people? It's your boy Dulo checking in. I'm here with the fisherman, Dulo, aka Kubi. I want to shout out the VOP, the voice of the people. Make sure you guys tap in, tune into the voice of the people today, tomorrow, and every day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Princess Fathia Nkrumah, and you keep watching Voice of the People TV.
Rukomi ni Akweja. Ricky Adelaide, the fisherman. Voice of the people. I'm part of the people. So go on and always watch Voice of the People.
Wagwami people, it's your girl Endurance Grand, and I'm giving a special shout out to Voptv. Keep listening, keep watching.
My name is Akio Shota. This is Voptv.
Hi, my name is William Lamte. I'm an actor, and keep watching Voice of the People TV. Keep it locked.
Voptv. Now, you have more than a voice.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Spotlight Show. It's another beautiful, beautiful day. And this is the place where stories come alive and voices matter. This is the show where we shine the light on creativity, culture, style, music, and purpose-driven people. And people we're talking about are people who are shaping the world around us. And yes, I'm your beautiful host, ever beautiful host, Precious Agumanu, a.k.a. Call Me Pressy. I see the waiting, I see the B and the E for the energy. This is the energy sport, and I'm sure you're sure about that. And yes, today is really beautiful, like I said before, and I'm not doing this alone today. I'm here with my darling and ever glowing.
Pedestrian bridges are built for one reason: to keep you safe. They are free, they are strong, and they are there to protect you. Dashing across expressways leads to injuries, loss, and grief that last forever. Using the bridge takes less than 1 minute. Losing a loved one lasts a lifetime. Parents, teach your children. Drivers, slow down near bridges. Everyone, please use the pedestrian bridge every time. Your life is worth the climb. This message is from Voice of the People's Television.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voter's card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on Voptv as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on Voptv. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
The rains are here. They bring relief, green fields, and fresh water. But they can also bring danger if we are not careful. Rule 1. Avoid flood waters. Never walk, wade, or drive through moving floodwater. Fast-moving water can sweep you off your feet, and that water may hide open drains, sharp objects, or live electric cables. Rule 2. Stay away from weak structures and slopes. Heavy rain can weaken buildings, walls, and hillsides. Avoid sitting on the old buildings, billboards, or trees. If your area is prone to landslides, report cracks or soil movement to emergency agencies immediately. Rule 3. Protect yourself from lightning and accidents. Stay indoors during thunderstorms. Avoid open fields, tall trees, and metal objects. If you must travel, drive slowly. Use your headlights, and never use an umbrella near power lines or while riding. And Rule 4. Stay healthy. Clear your gutters to stop mosquitoes that causes malaria. Boil or filter your drinking water. Keep food covered to avoid cholera and typhoid. And wash your hands often. This rainy season, stay alert, stay prepared, stay alive. This message is brought to you by Voice of the People Television. Nutrition experts are emphasizing the importance of healthy eating in preventing disease and improving overall well-being. At an event marking World Registered Dietitian Nutritionist Day in Lagos, stakeholders highlighted the role of balanced diets, proper portion control, and reduced consumption of processed foods in tackling rising cases of lifestyle-related illnesses. They say nutrition also plays a key role.
Well, hello and welcome to the African News on Voice of the People Television. I am David Edwin. Before we begin the news, we would urge you to kindly visit our website. It is www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news stories. We begin the African news from Uganda, where Uganda is set to discharge its last Ebola patient on Thursday, a move that will trigger a 42-day cut-down to potentially declaring the country free of the virus. Alan Kasuja, a government spokesperson, said the patient will be released from the isolation unit at Mulago National Referral Hospital in Kampala on Thursday morning. According to the Health Ministry, Uganda has recorded 17 recoveries, 2 deaths, and 1 current admission. 5 cases were locally acquired and 15 were imported. The wider outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, has caused 2,011 confirmed cases and 754 confirmed deaths. The World Health Organization, WHO, declared it a public health emergency in May and says it is the 3rd worst Ebola outbreak on record. All cases are linked to the rare Budumbuglio strain. Meanwhile, the head of a major American aid group says a new U.S. policy requiring citizens returning from the Democratic Republic of Congo to spend 21 days in a third country will hinder the fight against Ebola. Franklin Graham, Chief Executive Officer of Samaritan's Pulse, which runs Ebola treatment centers in Congo, told newsmen the quarantine order will make it harder to recruit healthcare workers and force the group to scale back operations. The outbreak in Congo has caused more than 1,900 confirmed cases and over 700 deaths. The World Health Organization says it is the 3rd worst Ebola outbreak on record. And in Kenya, President William Ruto has directed all ministries, departments, state agencies, constitutional commissions, and county governments to provide information for Kenya's first State of Openness report. Speaking at State House in Nairobi on Thursday, July the 16th, the president said the report will establish a national benchmark for measuring transparency and accountability in government. Ruto instructed all public institutions to fully cooperate with the Commission on Administrative Justice, which will lead the preparation of the report. He said the report will evaluate transparency, accountability, and institutional performance across governments and identify areas that requires reforms. Meanwhile, Democracy for the Citizens Party, DCP, leader Rigathi Gachagua has reaffirmed that his party will field a presidential candidate in the 2027 general elections. Gachagua made the remarks while meeting grassroots leaders from the South Rift at his residence in Wamunyoro, Nyeri County on Wednesday. He told the leaders to rally behind DCP, saying the ruling United Democratic Alliance, that's the UDA, had already locked out other contenders in the region. Gachagua's statement comes as questions persist over the United Opposition's failure to agree on a single flag bearer to challenge President William Ruto in the 2027 general elections. And from Kenya, move straight to Senegal, where Senegal is expected to appoint Lazard as its financial advisor on debt matters, according to 3 sources familiar with the situation. The move comes as the West African nation works to shore up public finances after its government disclosed previously unreported debts in 2024. Those debts now total more than 13 billion US dollars or more
than a quarter of gross domestic product, that's the GDP. Sources say authorities launched a selection process last week. Such appointments are often seen as an early step towards discussions with creditors, though they do not necessarily mean an immediate restructuring. Azad is expected to work alongside Paris-based Global Sovereign Advisory, that's the GCA. Senegal announced in November that GCA was already acting as a financial advisor to the government. Moving on, Zambia is hoping to reach agreement with the International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, on a new support program by the end of the year. Finance Minister Situmbeko Mosokotwane said on Thursday the deal is needed to attract investment, drive economic growth, and create jobs. He said investors feel more comfortable when an IMF program is in place. Zambia's last IMF program ended in January with total disbursement of 1.7 billion US dollars and helped the country exist a long debt restructuring process. An IMF staff team visited Lusaka between April and May and said talks are on a new program that will continue after Zambia's general elections in August. And still in Zambia, Zambia's former Vice President Guy Scott has died at the age of 82. The government said he passed away on Wednesday at his farm in the Leopard Hills area of Lusaka after an illness. Scott served as vice president under Michael Sata from 2011 to 2014. He became acting president following Sata's death in October 2014 and served until January 2015. His brief tenure made him Africa's 2 decades. His brief illness in 2 decades made him Africa's first white head of state in 2 decades since South Africa's F.W. de Klerk left office in 1994. A Cambridge-educated economist born in Zambia to Scottish parents, Scott was constitutionally barred from ruling in the election that followed because both his parents were not born in Zambia. President Hakainde Hichilema has accorded Scott a state funeral. And now in North Africa, where Morocco has signed an agreement to participate in the International Substantiation Force, that's the ISF, for Gaza. The deal was signed in Rabat on Wednesday at a meeting attended by Foreign Minister Nasser Bourita, senior defense officials, and Nikolay Ladenov, the Board of Peace Envoy for Gaza. The state news agency, MAP, said the agreement reflects a shared determination to contribute to peace and security in the region through humanitarian and security actions. MAP also reported that the Gaza Peace Council and ISF leadership welcome Morocco's decision. Morocco plans to deploy senior military officers, gendarmerie, and police personnel, and to set up a military field hospital. Morocco restored diplomatic ties with Israel in 2020 and supports a 2-state resolution to the Middle East. You're still watching the African News right here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go straight to the analysis segment of the news. And joining us now to make sense of these stories and more, in the studio with us is Mr. Lawal Ekudayo. Mr. Ekudayo is an educationist, a farmer, and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Lawal, and thank you for joining the conversation this afternoon.
All right then. Also joining this conversation virtually all the way from Uganda is Dr. Opul Joseph. Dr. Opul is a doctoral fellow at the University of Dar es Salaam, Gulu University, and director Opul Scaling Foundation Africa. Well, thank you so very much for joining, Dr. Opul, and a very good afternoon to you. Okay, well, I understand that Dr. Opul Joseph has not joined the conversation yet, but joining us virtually all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, is Mr. Sintati Wasilwa. He is the APAC Assistant Lead Analyst and Manager for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. He's also a Public and Political Affairs Analyst and Commentator. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Sintati, and thank you so very much for joining the conversation this afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, David.
All right, and thank you so very much for joining the conversation. Well, let me start off with you, and of course, particularly on the situation where, in the Middle East situation, where Morocco is joining the International Stabilization Force for Gaza. Well, it's interesting to note that the Middle East crisis is still ongoing, but looking at the fact that the North African nation have signed an agreement to participate in the International Stabilization Force for Gaza is quite interesting. What do you make of these developments? Plus the fact that the deal was signed in Rabat yesterday and a meeting attended by Foreign Ministers Nasser Bourita and senior defense officials, all in this agreement deal. What are you expecting from this deal? Plus, what do you think is the intention of Morocco joining in this particular group?
Well, first of all, I think Morocco's objective in joining this particular stabilization force for Gaza is largely for optics. Any country that joins such a peacekeeping mission or stabilization force, based on the existing frameworks or protocols, militarily speaking or security-wise, either based on the constitution or other existing international frameworks. States are allowed to do that. But my perspective is that this is largely driven by, the fact that Morocco, just like any other country or state, would want to, project its global image and also to pursue its other geostrategic interests. Remember that Morocco, is dominant Muslim, and when you look also at the population of Gaza and Palestine in general is dominant Muslim.
Right.
So it's largely meant to create a picture that some sort of brotherhood at the international level. But realistically, I think when you look at what is still happening in Gaza with Israel's geopolitical ambitions over there, the United States as well, I think you're still realistically distant from obtaining a workable solution as far as the state of Palestine is concerned.
Okay, well, again, there is also the conversation of marking some billions of dollars to, establish the state of Gaza to a livable state. Now, looking at the fact that in this particular deal, Morocco is also planning to deploy senior military officers and, of course, police personnel to set up military field hospitals. Is that something worth the trouble? Because, again, we know that Morocco is also an Arab state as well. So, looking at that development, are we seeing a support for the Arab nations by Morocco with this development?
Well, I think fundamentally that is the sort of perception and picture that Morocco being part of this stabilization force is meant to portray to the Arab states and even to the people of the Palestine. But when you consider the political dynamics and even the social dynamics of Gaza and entirely the Palestine state, they are kind of different. You have Hamas. Hamas has been fighting Israel since October 2023. And then you also have the Palestinian Authority. So some of these peace agreements, which the state of Palestine, Hamas, the Palestine Authority have agreed to, entails, for example, Hamas disarming itself and even dissolving itself and paving the way for the creation of other internal committees to manage the affairs of Gaza. But that will be very difficult to happen. Remember that the existence of Hamas in Gaza is not accidental. This is a group that created largely, through the support of Iran. And it's not easy for it just to vanish from the surface. And my assessment, I think, is still far-fetched. It's a long shot at this point that the solution in Gaza is going to be achieved. But nonetheless, countries which are participating in this international stabilization force are there, for their own interests. Apart from the geopolitics, or rather the geopolitics of it, also comes with the money. So the money, and then you also have the contracts and many other things. So governments are going to benefit, monetarily, financially, and contractually for the countries which, for the companies from these particular countries that will be participating in this stabilization mission in Gaza.
All right, then. Let me bring this conversation back to Nigeria. And of course, Mr. Lawal, looking at these developments, Morocco, on one hand, is also an Arab nation. But the conversation about the fact that this international stabilization force comes with some funds. And to think that just recently, Morocco and Israel re-established their diplomatic ties, something that has been far from the reality before now. Do you foresee Israel going back on a diplomatic course with Morocco as a result of Morocco putting out themselves to join in this international stabilization force?
Yes, I think it's a good thing, and I see Morocco, taking that's a good action if it is not based on religion purposes.
Okay.
If it is based on humanitarian purposes to establish peace in Gaza, then it's a welcome something, Now, Morocco is not an Arab nation. They are Moors, but they are a member of the Islamic nation.
Right.
While Gaza, some of them are, they are, Arabs, some are Jews, scattered differences. So now they are now normalizing relation with Israel, because without that there cannot be peace in that Gaza. You know why? Because Hamas, the military wing of this part of Gaza, was set up by Iran to make sure that that place is destabilized because of Israel. Their own agenda towards Israel, that they want to exterminate Israel. They don't want the state of Israel to exist anymore.
Right.
So they create some kind of pockets of, groups that are terrorizing the whole of that. And Israel is fighting back along with its axis. Now, based on that, now, Israel and US are, fighting against Iran, which is also curbing some support that Hamas is getting from Iran. So they believe that if they destabilize, if they are able to curb Iran, then these, terrorist organizations where they have designated Hamas as terrorist organization, their weaponry, whatever they get, resources will come down, and then there can be peace in Gaza.
Do you foresee Morocco and Israel falling out of love? I dare use that word loosely, particularly because they just restored, like I said earlier, their diplomatic ties together since just 2020, just 6 years ago. Do you foresee any love to be lost as a result of Morocco indicating interest in all of this restoration force?
Now, one thing is that the first thing that was done was necessary.
Right.
Have a good relation with Israel.
Right.
And then moving in now, Israel will now look at it from the point of friendship And then Morocco will now be able to liaise with Israel before they do whatever is necessary. They believe they can do to help restore peace.
More like supporting a two-state restoration towards the Middle East crisis.
Yes, that's why they first of all normalize with Israel. You get it? Normalizing with Israel means that the next stage will have Israel support. But without normalizing with Israel, there cannot be any meaningful thing coming from. That's why I said these steps they are taking should not be taken from the perspective of religion. If they take it from the perspective of religion, there will be crisis. The crisis will get worse. But if they take it from the perspective of humanitarian and normalizing with Israel, even if they want that two-state, to
resolution.
Yes, then the interests of Israel must be considered. This state of Gaza will not be a terrorist nation to Israel, to not be a threat to Israel, and they will not be able to, harbor any terrorist organization against Israel, just like what Lebanon is doing now. Lebanon is normalizing with Israel, and Hezbollah, which is a terrorist organization, is not happy with that. You see, normalizing with Israel,
it gives you a very clear state of
be able to
mediate.
Yes, that stabilization will work.
All right then. All right, let me take this conversation back to Nairobi. Now, Mr. Sintati, I'm coming home at this point, and of course, talking about stories emanating from your country, where the president has directed all ministries, departments, state agencies, even the constitutional commissions and county governments to provide information for Kenya's first State of Openness report. Now, help Africans understand what that State of Openness report truly is about, because that seems to be a very ambiguous word, if you want to ask me on the layman's terms. But also looking at the fact that there would be a national benchmark for measuring transparency, which of course is the reason for this particular framework. What do you make of this as well, and the order by the president?
Well, I guess the Ruto-led administration intends to, portray itself as a government, or rather as an administration that is seeking to entrench good governance practices in Kenya. Well, at first, this particular report rather aims at enhancing transparency, accountability, and good governance across the public sector. That's just the basics of it. It may sound a bit ambiguous, so it may sound a little bit, complex towards that end. But I don't see it as, something really, really technical. Anyway, my view on this particular report is that, engaging the Commission for Administrative Justice, which is the office of the Ombudsman in the country, it could be a good initiative. But at the end of the day, I guess the most critical question that needs to be asked at the end of it all is, so what after this report is published? So what? And Kenya, just like many other African countries, are really, really struggling. In fact, for over 6 decades since many African countries on average gained independence, they are struggling to implement most of these policy documents. So I guess the undertaking of it is not really, really a big issue for me or to me, but rather the implementation bits of it as it stands. But to cap it all, based on my understanding and what I know so far, it will help the government of the day, or even the future governments, to be able to have a clear picture, a clear idea of how easy it is for the citizens, the members of the public, to be able to access, information from most of these public agencies, ministries, and government departments. That's just one but a part of it. However, if I am to, throw some hook into the waters, I guess we have multiple governance agencies that exist in Kenya. Various offices, from the Parliamentary Budget Office to the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecution to, the Auditor General, Control of the Budget. I think they produce fantastic reports. So to me, this may not really have been necessary as such to have this report when you have very marvelous reports by these Kenyan agencies and many other foreign, I mean, even Kenyan lenders like the World Bank and the IMF.
Now, still staying with you, Mr. Sintati, there is also the conversation surrounding how much of contract procurement irregularities have been embedded with this administration. Some are saying at this point, what would these order by the president clearly do, owing to the fact that, yes, it is clearly going to establish a national benchmark for measuring transparency and accountability. But questions have been raised about how much of transparency has been when it comes to contracts awarding, even in government. Now, looking at the fact that Kenya is still in debt of about over $40 billion, how much of these reports would be used? And then looking at the fact that this is coming at an election year, what do you think the presidency is having off its sleeve with this development?
Well, I believe that this particular report from the outset, most likely it's an outcome, of demands made by lending agencies, some of the agencies which are credible lenders to the government of Kenya could have demanded for this report.
Just like IMF did.
You go, I mean, some of the organizations that are offering technical support for the implementation of this are the Organization for Economic and Cooperation Development, or ECD, which is based in France, and then UNESCO, the UN the UN agency is also offering technical support. But remember that the World Bank, the IMF have been on the heels and head of the Kenyan government to be able to implement specific governance reforms as key to enhancing proper fiscal policy management. That is on the record. But the implementation of this report, just like many others, as I've mentioned a few minutes ago, is highly doubtful. It's highly doubtful. After all, I mean, if Kenya, or if we had a highly efficient and competent government which wanted to move things forward real quick and real, in a very robust manner, then I guess all these things are guaranteed by the Constitution. I guess Kenya is one of those countries that has a whole chapter in the Constitution that is dedicated towards, leadership and integrity. And there are so many clauses apart from that particular chapter, in many other chapters on public finance management, that are geared towards enhancing good governance as far as fiscal policy is concerned. So to me, this is more of, some suckers, perhaps time wasting, but perhaps maybe someone somewhere wants to meet some key performance indicator. So that is it.
So still staying with you, Mr. Sintati. You would recall that the IMF a couple of days or weeks ago did also ask the government of Kenya to implement some of the reforms that would also put clarity to how some of these funds are being expended. One of those is the whistleblowers policy, which have been quite quiet for a while now. Now, looking at that demand from the IMF, are you saying that looking to the near future, President William Ruto is looking in that direction? Is that what this is all about? Or again, is this for the optics for 2027 August election?
Well, so far the Ruto-led administration has failed in so many respects to be able to fight corruption convincingly and conclusively. So with that sort of a muddy or murky track record, it becomes very, very difficult to ascertain that truly one could be convinced that his administration will be the one to be able to fight corruption. I mean, most of his ministers in the cabinet, most of his associates in government have been implicated in many, multiple scandals. So I don't really think this is meant to be taken professionally serious. I guess this is more for optics than any other serious thing that is meant to come out of it.
All right, then let me bring this conversation back to Nigeria. Mr. Lawal, looking at the development of all of these conversations. Now, here's another catch. There is also the trust deficit between the people and the political elite, just as it is in Nigeria. But the president, speaking at the State House, and I'm talking about the president of Kenya, did say that the report will establish a national benchmark for measuring transparency and accountability in government. Therefore, urging all commission to cooperate with this particular body, institution, to carefully get this report. Now, looking at the fact that come August 2027, Kenya will be going to the polls. Again, just like you heard our analysts in Kenya say, this clearly looks like for the optics, because there have been several government officials who've been fingered with some corruption cases. Should anything come out of this report, can the William Ruto-led administration in Kenya clearly and carefully do anything as against that particular person or individuals? Now, just to pose this situation with Nigeria, and I'm talking about the Orosaya report, if you have any full idea of that report, why would there not be actions after such reports is being carefully drafted out?
No, thank you very much. It's a strong topic. You know why? Because in African here, one of our main problems is lack of transparency in governance, and almost no consequences for the actions of our political office holders. No consequences. That is the major headache that is affecting the development of Nigeria. So something like this that is happening in Kenya, that openness report is a good thing. To me, it may look political, it may look like face value, but it's a good starting that a government is coming up with something that is openness. And it's going to be a benchmark. Now,
but then what happens after such reports?
See, they are going to election.
Right.
And the president is coming up with something like this. Therefore, he's giving the people something, to decide who they want to vote for.
Now, here's another thing. I had to bring it here. Now, the audit reports in Kenya have revealed that widespread procurement irregularities across 32 Kenyan counties, totaling over 10 billion Kenyan shilling. Now, these irregularities include non-compliance with procurement regulations, late or missing procurement plans, misuse or direct procurement methods. Now, there are several ways at which civil servants can, have these funds fly without procuring anything. This is the same government that wants to have an openness report. What happens after?
See, let me tell you something. They say there are many ways to kill a cat.
Okay.
Now, maybe the president has tried some methods, and these office holders are beating it. So I thought, okay, if I make it open to the whole Kenyan people and the world, maybe other methods to be able to deal with this issue will come up. Normally, he's having an election and he's coming to expose his government, because that openness means he wants his government to be exposed to the scrutiny of all Kenyans plus international bodies. Now, from there, so many things will come up. So many things hidden, so many methods to do things, so many all these things, they will come up. Because when he said openness, that means he's now urging all the agencies and parastatals within our administration to bring up all information that has to do with that, their area. So that president is already exposing his government to the people for the scrutiny, for the assessment of the people. It's a good thing. No government will come up with that when you have election in a short time, because when you say openness, that means you are not going to hide anything. and then people will be able to use that to determine whether they should vote you in or not. So it's a very good thing. Look at our own area here. Look at what we've been grappling with. PFIPC is there. Nothing is coming. We don't get anything. Which one?
ICPC is having an investigation.
But the police is already charging the same person that the ICPC wants to investigate to court. Now, if you put that person to court, you charge the person to court.
Yes.
And the person is in court. Now, you know that they will remand that person in prison and then they'll be looking for a way to get the bail. Whatever, if they don't get the bail of that person, ICPC cannot ask that person in prison for information because it's incarcerated.
So the facts still remain.
It will be far away from his documents. So, what I expected them to have done is to let ICPC finish its own. What you can do is to seize the passport, withhold the passport of the prince. You get it?
All right. Now.
So I'm just separating the two. Look at what this president is talking about: openness. He wants his government to be in the scrutiny of the public.
Now let's analyze this carefully. And I say this because there was a time the president of Nigeria also did open a portal that Nigerians should go and, of course, rate the ministers.
No. That has no value at all.
Now, I like the fact that you just played it down, that it does not have a value.
No, it has no value.
With these particular reports, someone in Kenya is clearly saying that this clearly looks like it's just for the optics. So if that is the case, we're talking about trust deficit between the people and the political elites. Do you think that at the end of these reports, careful investigations and, of course, some people being held accountable will be seen as a result of these reports?
Do you know that election?
The same is happening in Nigeria.
See, election is coming up in Kenya.
Yeah.
Election is, and the president is demanding openness from his workers, his cabinet. Is demanding openness. You get it? That means, what is he trying to do? He's trying to expose, that cabinet, their work, everything, ministry, in the face of the people. It's a very good thing.
All right. While we wrap up this conversation, let me go back to Kenya. Mr. Sintati, looking at the development of these particular reports, should it see the light of the day, is the people of Kenya carefully going to be voting for who is possibly will be indicted in this report? Now, that on one hand, let's also talk about the economy of Kenya that carefully again is trying to find its balance. Judging from all of this, and of course, President William Ruto returning to the polls come 2027, how much of preparedness are the people of Kenya with this development?
Well, the general public view, objectively, I can guarantee you, is that this is an administration or, President William Ruto is a president who's largely failed to implement most of his promises. That is the general, public perception against him. However, if you look at the recent opinion polls, from way back in January this year, he's still on the lead. But if the opposition or potential presidential candidates are to team up, then it will be very, very hard for him to get reelected, as far as the statistics indicate. But again, you have a very large number of Kenyans who are still undecided as to who they'll support. And it's politics. At the end of the day, a single day in politics could be equivalent to 100 years. So much could happen within the day.
All right.
That's for sure, to be pragmatic. But all in all, gauging from the public sentiments, he'll have a very, very difficult time to convince a significant number of the Kenyan voters to elect him. And one of the issues is that the cost of living is very, very high, shot up very, very highly because of continuous tax increases and frustrations, from who employment opportunities are available.
All right.
And also the fact that, issues like insecurity, and maybe not really out of control like many other African countries, but you get a feeling that the insecurity incidents are rising, especially in the capital here in Nairobi. But all in all, I mean, it will be a very interesting contest. I can guarantee you come next year.
Okay, now still staying with you, and of course, I would ask that you do this maybe in less than a sentence or two. The Democracy for the Citizens Party, that's the DCP leader, Rigathi Gachagua, has confirmed that his party will field the presidential candidates come the 2027 general election. Now, will that give maybe another credible candidate for the Kenyan populace should that particular party field a candidate come 2027 August?
Well, it's still a long shot for the DCP. Remember that its leader, Rigathi Gachagua, the former deputy president, as things stand, he cannot run for the presidency because he was impeached.
Yeah.
So he's only hedging his bets so that maybe a DCP candidate is unveiled by the broad-based opposition as its sole candidate going into the elections. But not so much to read from his statement at this time.
All right, then. Let me bring it back to the studio here and, of course, wrap up here. Mr. Lawal, looking at the entire development here, do you see the Kenyan government, I beg your pardon, the government of President William Ruto going back to the polls as favorites? Because, again, just like you heard the analyst in Kenya, he's so very much unpopular. Do you think that come 2027 August, he might still be the favorites candidate, even though opposition figures are trying to come together and, of course, have a major candidate for the election?
Well, maybe that is why he's trying to do that openness report, so that when he's in the scrutiny of the people, you can kind of repolish his image. You get it?
All right, then. Because of our time, really, this is where we have to draw anchor on the analysis segment of the African News. And once a big thank you to Mr. Lawal Kundayo right here in Nigeria. He is an educationist, a farmer, and also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Thank you so very much for being here. Also, big thank you to you, Mr. Sintati Wasilwa. He is also the APAC Assistant Lead Analyst and Manager for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. He is also a public and political affairs analyst and commentator. Thank you so very much, Mr. Sintati, for joining the conversation. All right, and because of our time, we would have to be jumping straight to the business angle of the news. Businesses and institutions in Ghana must now use a biometric app scanner to verify national identity cards on the new rules aimed at strengthening security and courting frauds. Until now, many firms relied on visual checks and photocopies, which authorities say made it easier for criminals to impersonate customers. The requirement covers the Ghana card, the plastic biometric national ID that all Ghanaian citizens and foreign residents must carry. Introduced over the last decade by the National Identification Authority, that's the NIA, the card is already needed for banking, SIM card registration, passports, and driver's license. The NIA says the card captures 10 fingerprints, iris scans, a photograph, and a signature. And to wrap up the African news, we go straight talking sports. Aston Villa is facing criticism over its new multi-year shirt sponsorship deal with Visit Rwanda with £20 million a year. Felix Jenkins, head of campaign at Amnesty International UK, has warned the agreement could be used to sportswash Rwanda's human rights record. The Premier League club has defended the deal, calling it a most important sponsorship in the club's history. The African Nations Tourist Board will replace Betano on the front of the men's, women's, and academy team shirts. The criticism comes after the Democratic Republic of Congo filed a case against Rwanda last month at the International Court of Justice, that's the ICJ, accusing it of breaching multiple international treaties. And with that sports story, we've come to the end of African News right here on Voice of the People Television. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we're at Voice of the People TV, and on all other social media platforms, we are at Voptv Live. Thank you so very much for being a part of this broadcast. I am David Edwin. You have a good afternoon.
Voptv. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues, on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Big news is here. Your favorite Voice of the People television station is now on free to air on Nigecomsat. All you need to do is align your dish using the following: orbit position 40.5 degrees east, 12.685 GHz, 30,000 kilobytes per second. Polarized vertical, frequency 2, 12.731 GHz, symbol rate 26,250 kilobytes per second. Polarization H. This works on any decoder. Catch up to 100 channels, sports, movies, news, all for free. This is with better quality at no extra cost. Voptv on Free TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Don Jazzy is a name synonymous with music, talent discovery, and production in Nigerian music industry. Born Michael Collins Ajere on November 26, 1982, Don Jazzy grew up in Ajegule in Lagos State, where he honed his skills in music, playing drums for churches. Co-founding Mo Hits Records in 2005. Don Jazzy's production skills and collaborations with artists like D'banj catapulted him to fame. His unique blend of Afrobeat, hip-hop, and pop created timeless hits like Dorobuchi and Chop My Money. A recipient of numerous awards, including several BET Award nominations, Don Jazzy's impact on Nigerian music is undeniable, having impacted on the careers of Tiwa Savage, Ricardo Banks, Crayon, Corey Bello, and others. Today, Don Jazzy's Marvin Records empire is solidifying his position as a music mogul. Don Jazzy also focuses on giving back, supporting education and music initiatives. Don Jazzy is a true maestro who is shaping Nigerian music landscape with his unique sound and vision.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on Voptv. Entertainment like never before.
Good afternoon, Nigerians. Welcome to Voptv. My name is Ferdinand Igba. Policing is as good as the men and women on the beat. For years, Nigeria have asked our officers trained to protect, serve, and respect rights. Today, we'll be looking at what is being done to change that. Joining me is AIG Dr. Stanley Ude, retired, the Deputy Coordinator, Nigeria Police Reform Secretariat. It's nice having you on our program today.
Thank you for having me. You're welcome.
All right. Quickly, let's look at the assessment of the Nigeria Police training system revealed as the biggest gap between before reforms started.